Good morning, and welcome to Decorah UU UCC. So today, as what already seems like to be a long-standing tradition, two congregations come together as one to celebrate the cross-quarter day. The cross-quarter day is the day in between the equinox and the solstice. And so many cultures throughout time have celebrated this special moment in time. And for us today, 4 different names or days or traditions trickle down to us. So first of all, that's Candlemas in the Christian tradition. It's officially the end of Christmas and Epiphany season today, as in the book of Luke, it talks about the presentation of the baby Jesus at the temple. And so it's the presentation of the light in the Christian tradition. In the Celtic tradition, today is Imbolc, the beginning of spring. Happy spring, everyone. What a spring day it is today. And then also, the 2 of those coming together make St. Bridget's Day, which is not just the celebration of the beginning of spring, but also the celebration of fertility and the birthing of animals and the flowing of milk. And then, of course, in the more modern times, we have all those coming together to make Groundhog Day to let us know how much longer we get the privilege of enduring winter. And then Sue will be talking about all of those things and how they weave together later on in the reflection. The point being, today we celebrate the return of the light. The seeds that have been planted in the fall and the winter are beginning to stir. The birds, if you can listen, are actually beginning to sing, some of them. The quickening is awakening. The energy is rising. Spring is coming. For some, it's already here. So we pause today to celebrate that moment in time today, together. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's pause. Let's take a deep breath. Let's sink in to being 2 congregations coming together as one. And let's pause for a moment of stillness and prepare our hearts and minds for worship today. And as we gather together today, we remind ourselves of the example of Jesus, who welcomed everyone to his table without exception. God's doors are open to all, and we invite each and every one of you to the fellowship of this congregation today. And specifically, whether you're young or old or anywhere in between, whatever your history or background, whether your faith is an old friend or you're filled with doubts, confusions, or questions, whatever your sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression, whatever your color, culture, or nationality, whatever the size and shape of your family, it's a privilege to have you here and for us to celebrate and worship together. So let's begin by singing together. Benj?
And as we join together this morning, let us rise in body or in spirit as we join in our opening hymn, which can be found as an insert in the bulletin, Gather the Spirit. Do note this one does have a few extra lines for it, so make sure you turn the page as we go.
Appear all the same.
compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind, seeds for the sowing are laid in store, nurtured in love, conscious refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun, winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again.
The peace of God be amongst you all. I invite you to show signs of that peace amongst you now. And as you all find your seats, I invite the kids to come on up, the youthful, young, if you want to feel young at heart once again, everyone's welcome. Come on up for the children's sermon with Sue. And after the sermon today, Juniper and Florence will be leading the kids in making Bridget's crosses in the back. And if any adults want to join them for craft time, they'll be happening right back there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to need 6 more people up here of any age. 6 more, please. Thank you.
4, 5, 1 more. One more besides time. There we go.
Brigitte. All right, great. So today we're going to talk a little bit about time. And one thing that helps me keep track of time is my calendar. How many of you have calendars around your house? Do you have a favorite calendar? Oh, 3 calendars. Oh my gosh. Oh, you take care of 3 calendars. What a job. Well, I have one too. I love my calendar because it's got, my granddaughter made it for us, and it's got pictures of the family. So we can always remember birthdays and special occasions. And then, of course, there's lots of things that we remember during the year, like we always wait for December, because what comes in December? Oh, yeah, and we all like Christmas. So we can hardly wait to get to the end, but then we're kind of ready to be done with it sometimes and move on as well. So today I'd like to make a calendar of people. So I need you all to stand in a line over here. Looks like Phil's ready to be January. Who wants to be February? Julie is February, and if you would hold hands, we're going to kind of stretch out that way. And Karen is going to be March, and Juniper's going to be April. And after April, what do we have? We have May, and you're June, And you're July. And what are you, Florence? August. Are you all holding hands? August and September, October, November, and December. So here we have us all in this long line. The months of the year. So, and then after December, is it all over? Well, what happens after December? We do, and so here's what we're going to do. We're going to hold hands. And now we've got, what do we have now? What do we have? We have a circle, exactly. We could even go around. Let's go around a little bit. Around, because look at all those circles on the altar there. You see circles? Yeah, lots of circles. There's a calendar, a different kind of calendar right here. And then this is a circle you could make if you go in the woods and get some vines, you could make your own circle. So, when you go home today, I want you to think a little bit more about all the places you find circles. If you look up in the sky in the middle of the day and it's not too cloudy, what can you see up there shining over you? The sun. The sun is kind of like a big circle. And at night, tonight is actually, if it clears up, it's a full moon tonight. Yeah, so if it clears up, you look up in the evening, later you don't have to stay up too late to see the moon rising. And there's another big circle. What other circles do you see out there? Ice cream? It certainly could be. If you've got a scoop of ice cream, that's a great circle. And I'm an ice cream lover, so I could have ice cream every month of the year, even if it's not July. Well, that's it. Think about circles and time. Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks, everybody, for coming up.
Thanks, all you timely volunteers, for coming up. Now we gather together to share our joys and concerns together. So we take some time to have the privilege of being part of something greater than ourselves by offering up what's alive in our hearts today. So take a moment to check in with your heart and your being as you walked through those doors today. What's alive for you today? And what would you like to share with us so that we can hold it with you? Whether it's a joy or a sorrow, anxiety, something beautiful, anything and everything is welcome. When you're ready, you can raise your hand. I'll bring the microphone to you, and just make sure you hold the microphone close to your mouth so we can all hear you. And after I briefly sum up what you've said, we'll have a sung response.
And our sung response will be Your Joy is My Joy, Your Sorrow My Sorrow, with the tune and the text by the wonderful Ellen Rockney. We'll just sing kind of the first part of her tune, and it goes like this. Your joy is my joy, your sorrow my sorrow. Your joy is my joy, your sorrow my sorrow.
Okay, what shall we pray for today, friends?
I'm concerned about all those in the world who are not able to stay warm at this time of year and who are in some kind of dire circumstances, war or whatever. I'm praying for them.
Prayers for warmth and shelter.
Your joy is my joy, your sorrow my sorrow.
thanks for the courage of all those people in Minneapolis and all those helping to stock shelves with gifts that were given, and all those givers that give for Minneapolis. Their courage is amazing in what is happening.
For courage and solidarity.
I know some folks were at the funeral for Lawrence Jensen yesterday. It was a really beautiful service, and John Jensen gave a really incredible eulogy for his father. So I just want to keep their family in our thoughts and prayers for the coming days, weeks, months of grief and good memories.
For the Jensens and for the modeling of faith by Lawrence.
I want to pray for all those who can't be here in person and who are maybe watching on the camera, and that we're thinking of all of them.
For those who cannot be here today.
I just like the feeling of having our UU friends here with us today, and how that feels as a combination of two congregations. It's really nice.
For friends gathering together.
I want to thank God for little steps forward.
For little steps forward. Any other sharings today? Okay, well then I invite you all to pray with me, and at the end of this prayer I'll invite you all to say the Lord's Prayer with me, and there's 3 different translations in the bulletin. You'll be invited to say the words that are most meaningful to you. So now pause with me in a moment of prayer. O blessed mystery, we thank you first for darkness, for a time of stillness, a time to step away and reflect, a time to sometimes let down the cares and concerns of the world, to go deep in solitude and stillness and in rest. And we're also grateful that we don't have to stay in darkness, and that the light returns in the great circle of time. And so in this halfway point, as we're transitioning out of a time of cold and darkness, as the energy and the light and the warmth begin to return, we also extend our gratitude for light and growth, warmth and beauty. We give thanks for the light and beauty of people coming together in dark times, in hard times, to work together so that we don't have to feel alone. Nobody has to feel alone. We're grateful for open hearts and deep presence of people who serve and care when times feel uncertain. We ask for warmth and shelter for those who might be displaced or disturbed right now, while also giving gratitude for the warmth that we have in our lives, the shelters, the relationships, the communities, and the blessing to be able to gather now in this place with these people to say, here we are, ready to do what we can to be beings of light and warmth to the world. We also acknowledge that each person who came in today is filled with joys and concerns, and only a fraction were spoken. And so we hold all of them together, knowing that they're held by something greater than we can understand, and we give thanks for that as well. And now we say together the prayer Jesus taught us to speak many years ago, and the words that are meaningful to you. Our God, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
As we join together for our invitation to listen, we'll be using a short little tune, breathing in, cherish yourself, breathing out, cherish the world. The melody is by Kate Munger with the words, old words from the Dalai Lama. And we will use this. This is a beautiful little piece that reminds us of circles, both in the circles of our breath and the cycle of our breath, but also in the melody of itself, as this one is a beautiful round. And so there's two parts to it, the breathing in and the breathing out. And we can sing that as a round. So if you would like, you can start with the breathing in, or you can wait while someone else is singing breathing out, and then you can start with breathing in while someone else is breathing out. And we create a beautiful round together as we sing this. We'll sing this a few times through. I'll sing it first here. Breathing in, cherish yourself. Breathing out, cherish the world. Breathing in, cherish yourself. Breathing out, cherish the world. Breathing in, cherish yourself. Breathing out, cherish the world. Breathing in, cherish yourself. Breathing out, cherish the world. Breathing in, cherish yourself. Breathing out, cherish the world. Breathing in, cherish yourself. breathing out, cherish the world once more, breathing in, cherish yourself, breathing out, cherish the world.
Excuse my hoarse voice today. I'll try my best. The first reading is from Ecclesiastes 1, verses 4 to 8. Generations come and generations go, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises, the sun sets, and hurries back to where it rises. The wind blows to the south and turns to the north. Round and round it goes, ever returning on its course. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. Second reading is Widening Circles by Rainer Maria Rilke. I live my life in widening circles that reach out across the world. I may not complete this last one, but I give myself to it. I circle around God, around the primordial tower. I've been circling for thousands of years, and I still don't know. Am I a falcon, a storm, or a great song? The final reading is a selection from Black Elk Speaks. Then I was standing on the highest mountain of them all, and round about beneath me was the whole hoop of the world. And while I stood there, I saw more than I can tell, and I understood more than I saw. For I was seeing in a sacred manner the shapes of all things in the Spirit, and the shape of all shapes, as they must live together like one being. And I saw the sacred hoop of my people was one of many hoops that made one circle, wide as daylight and as starlight, and in the center grew one mighty flowering tree to shelter all the children of one mother and one father. And I saw that it was holy. But anywhere is the center of the world.
Thank you. I'm short, and so last time I spoke from up there, and I sort of have an aversion to being up so terribly high when I'm delivering the message. It's kind of like, it reminds me of those old church days when the person up there knew more than everybody else, or so we were told to think. And I like being down here with you because I know that we together share so much truth and beauty and love with each other. So, in that spirit. Have you ever had the experience of getting lost in a memory, of finding yourself feeling as if you stepped out of time for a brief moment? Some of it call it daydreaming, a beautiful word and experience that I fully embrace and welcome when it comes. It feels as if I'm moving into circular time, a temporary spinning in place, not allowing the regular forces of forward movement to take over. Ever since I discovered the traditions of the Celtic Wheel of the Year, just over 25 years ago, I've been celebrating the seasons and my connection to the natural world in a different way because of it. I've also come to learn how many people all over the world see time as moving differently than we Westerners do. Even the very idea of forward progress
often berates cultures whose understandings of time do not sync with ours. But that's a whole other topic for another program. We usually experience time as linear, as one-directional, says author Kevin Koch, who teaches creative nonfiction at Loras College in Dubuque. But it's not necessarily time as it actually exists or as it is always perceived. Indigenous people all over the earth, including Celtic and Native American, often viewed time differently, as cyclical and elastic. In cyclical time, Koch says, the repetitions of nature and communal life outweigh the perceptions of time's forward march. The days repeat in endless fashion, the seasons repeat, the arc of life repeats. Forward-moving time is more like a rolling hoop than a vector-pathed arrow. As the hoop rolls forward, any point on the circle cycles endlessly from top to bottom and to top again. We move through youth, adulthood, and old age, but always communally. There are infants cooing, adolescents testing limits, parents providing, and the elderly imparting wisdom until age and infirmity again render them needy. The readings that Holly read today speak of time in this way, images of circles that seem to defy the invented clock with its constant ticking into the future. I don't think it's too hard for us to imagine viewing the world in this way. We Iowans are rural enough, many of us gardeners or farmers, to know firsthand how the plant cycle works, from seed to sprout, to growth, to bud, to flower, to fruit, to harvest, and finally, compost, before it all begins again when the soil warms in the spring. We watch the moon cycle through its phases and the earth move around the sun, giving us our seasonal changes. What if we saw all of life that way, spiraling on continuously? I have often imagined it so, seeing myself as having hopped on back in 1948, moving round and round the spiral until one day I too will glide off into the cosmos. The Wheel of the Year calendar is not so different than we may think. We can easily envision a large circle with the winter and summer solstices and spring and fall equinoxes, dividing it into quarters. In the Celtic tradition, each of these quarters is divided once again, giving us what are called cross-quarter days. The cross-quarter days are called Imbolc, which we're celebrating today, Beltane, coming in May, Lunasa, coming in August, and Samhain, coming at the end of October. Last fall at the cross-quarter festival of Samhain, known as All Saints' Day in the Christian tradition and Day of the Dead among indigenous peoples of Mexico, we UUs join many of you here to honor and remember our ancestors with photos, stories, and candles. And candles we have, once again, you can see today. They just seem to, the light seems to always be a symbol of these days. And thank you, Adam, for, I think I watched you putting lights everywhere. And we UUs especially appreciate that because where we are now, we're not allowed to have live flames. So we really are happy to see these fires burning. Today, February 1st, is Imbolc, the cross-quarter festival which heralds the beginning of spring in Ireland. Because our climate here in the Driftless is dissimilar, we tend to think of this time of year as planning for spring, looking for hints of spring, and any seeds we plant are in flats under grow lights. because people are always looking for signs of spring and forecasts about the changing weather, stories abound. Fiona Cook, in her wonderful book, The Wheel of the Year, an illustrated guide to nature's rhythms, tells that in ancient Ireland it was said that the old winter goddess, the Cailleach, went out to gather firewood on February 1st. If the day was sunny and dry, she'd be able to gather a lot of wood. Winter would be prolonged because she'd take her haul back to her cottage, light a big fire, and continue to busy herself with the magic for the next 6 weeks. If the day was wet and gray, however, she wouldn't be able to gather much kindling, the wood damp and useless. She'd give up and make way for the goddess Brigid to usher in the warmer weather of spring. You're probably seeing the connection with our Groundhog Day and the famous Punxsutawney Phil, who will be making his appearance tomorrow morning at sunrise. I rarely pay much attention to him because I'd be happy if there were only 6 more weeks of winter. The story makes much more sense in Ireland's climate. For me, Imbolc is all about Brigid. She was one of those women from long ago Ireland who moved almost seamlessly from goddess to saint in the Christian church. To many faithful Catholics today, she is a beloved saint, while to others, she endures as an archetype, a pattern, a symbol of healing and transformation. She's the patron of poetry, music, all the arts, including smithcraft, and her compassion and caring nature make her the benefactor of the homeless and refugees, of all the healing arts and midwifery. Stories and legends abound concerning her healing and transformative work, and light and fire always surround her and have become her most important signs and emblems. Hence, you might view the piece up in the front, which is my interpretation of Brigid, who maybe looks a little wild and crazy. She is the face of my daughter, who I think of as Brigid in many ways, full of light and passion and creativity. And there are many symbols on this quilted piece that you can come and look at a little more closely later. They have to do with the fact that she is the patron of all those things that I just mentioned. Former Luther classics professor Philip Freeman has written about her and translated some of the stories collected by Cogitosus, a 7th century Irish cleric, who praised her faith and holiness, among other of her virginal virtues. Interesting as they are, these stories, they often bear a patriarchal bias common among the male clergy of the day. Her miracles come because of her obedience and her chastity, her self-restraint and her modesty. Qualities which many contemporary Irish women challenge. They find courage, persistence, and a free spirit abiding in her work, recalling her founding a double monastery in Kildare, where women and men lived on either side of the church where they worshiped together, contrary to the norms of the times. 21st century feminists, fans of Brigid, finally found their lobbying paying off when Ireland added her feast day to the annual calendar of bank holidays in Ireland in 2023. All the festivals now, all of them, making up the Wheel of the Year, are now officially recognized there. So how does the wheel speak to us in these times about this festival of Imbolc, of Brigid? One of the traditions surrounding Brigid is called Breitag Brida, or Brat Brida. It involves leaving a piece of cloth, a shawl, or some other piece of clothing outside on the eve of St. Brigid's Day to receive a blessing from the saint as she passes over. I put 8 shawls outside last night myself. I got them in before the snow came, but I put them out because I'm having a gathering of my own women friends this week, and even though they know to leave a shawl outside, I thought if they forget, I want to be prepared for our healing ritual. So I've got plenty of shawls ready to go, blessed by Bridget. Those shawls are brought inside before sunrise and believed to have curative and protective powers to be used during the coming year. It is a lovely custom that is still practiced today by many, in particular women who are helping other women in Ireland who have been in abusive relationships. The Wheel of the Year also helps us restore our ancient bond with the natural world, to see it as sacred, not merely as another resource to be exploited. We will care for what we love. Bridget would be cheering the Kinderhouse School, which is housed at Good Shepherd in West Decorah, and the Red Oak Outdoor School in rural Decorah. Both these schools for young people feature a holistic curriculum which is centered around seeing the health and well-being of humans and the land as inextricably connected. The best smart device you may encounter could well be the earth beneath your feet, the animals and plants that live among us, the water and air that keep us alive to enjoy it all. Blessed Imbolc, blessed be us all.
And as our response, I invite us all to rise in body or in spirit as we sing We Are Dancing Sarah's Circle, familiar tune for many of We Are Climbing Jacob's Ladder, with different words celebrating Sarah, and harmonies are rather simple for this one. So if you feel like pulling out a harmony or pulling out any other notes that you want to throw in, please feel free. The more, the better. We will sing all 5 verses.
You may be seated. And now we pause for a moment of prayer and setting in intentions. During Candlemas, in the Christian tradition, one of the traditions of that feast and celebration is to bring your candles from your home into the church and to have them blessed for the year, and then to light them and set an intention for the coming season. And so we've created candles over here for you. So as Jessica plays the song, you're invited to set your intention for this coming season. What would you like to invite into your life? What kind of presents would you like to offer others? Whether that be peace, joy, hope, anything, you're invited to come on up. There's candles, votive candles on either side, so you can form two lines, and you can light it right here and put it down and offer your prayer or intention, and then return to your seat. Sue brought us Eve. But we, as it goes green or at home in England and Ireland. And if you read it, it goes through rosemary, bay, mistletoe, and holly for Christmas, and then on to box and yew, and then birch for Pentecost, which was called Whitsuntide, and then rushes, bent, and oak. So take a moment to look over the lyrics while you set your intention, and come on up and hear the song. We invite you into a time of prayer and intention. invite you all into prayer with me now. O divine presence of wisdom and compassion, may this be a season of light and warmth, of healing and peace and joy for us all. Amen. And now we pause for just a few announcements. First of all, you're all invited downstairs right after this for a time of fellowship. Let our two congregations come together, not just in worship, but also in camaraderie downstairs. Sue already talked about Bridget, but I just made a note of if you have any questions about this. She explained it all to me before the service began, and I was amazed at all of the symbolism that she was able to weave into it. So if you have a chance, come see this and ask Sue about it. And there's one note in your bulletin about the Women's World Day of Prayer that's coming up on March the 8th. We still need a few volunteers. So if you would like to be a part of that, come see me or Bridget? Yes, or Bridget. Good. Any other announcements today?
Petra Circle is meeting tomorrow at 6:30, and we're going to be at Eastern Star for Maryland's benefit.
Decorah UU is hosting a book discussion of the book Red Earth Nation. It's a history of the Meskwaki in Iowa. And we're going to have 3 rich conversations and reflections in February on Tuesday evenings at Luther College. The information's on our website, so everyone is invited. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements today? Okay. Benj is going to lead us in singing each other out with Dona Nobis Pacem. If anybody needs the music, you can just raise your hand and I'll bring it to you.
And we'll sing each other out with the Dona Nobis Pacem, familiar tune for most of us. And I'll invite everyone to rise in body or in spirit. Just put your hand up if anyone needs a copy of that or wants a copy of that to have the 3 parts of it. In our theme of circles, this is a lovely piece as well because it works in around with these 3 parts. What I'd like to do is I'd like to sing all 3 parts once through, and then we can split into however it works. And at that point, I would like to basically do twice more through. So it's going to take a little bit of time as we go through this. We're kind of going to go through it 3 times, but it's going to allow for the round to morph and shift. You can pick your parts. You can choose which one you want to sing. You can even add something else. It is all beautiful.
Please,
Go in peace, my friends, and may the light of the miracle of life fill your steps. Amen.